Welcome to Drinkin Bros.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Yes! Welcome to Drinkin Bros, sports companion show. We're live on YouTube. The hangover I have right now is fucking beyond intense, Anthony. You don't do the hangover? You look like shit today. When you came into my room, you look great now. You were feeling it this morning for sure.
I was tired.
I didn't sleep well. We went on a bender with Kid Rock and Daly all day yesterday. By the way, that episode will be up next week. Probably on Monday. We're going to take that back to edit it. But I'm in rare form today. I have some cocktails running through my belly. And the Big Ten is back, baby! Motherfucking Ohio State Buckeyes, dude, are back. SEC? Sorry about it. There's nothing you can do to stop Ohio State. And if you think for one goddamn second you're beating Justin Fields this year after what he did for the Big Ten, you're out of your fucking dick hole. I'm all in on Justin Fields and the Heisman. I'm all in on Ohio State winning the national championship. Fuck, if I could, if YouTube would allow me to do it, I'd put this entire microphone inside my asshole and do the rest of the fucking show like that today. That's how goddamn happy I am. And I also want to give a special shout out to Mr. Donald John Trump. I don't often use his middle name, but you're goddamn right I'm going to do it today because he reached out to the Big Ten, talked to the president, and said, I want those boys playing on the field. They deserve it. Nay. Their parents deserve it. Nay. The nation deserves it. And if you think for 1 second that he's not going to win in a landslide after just picking up every single swing state this morning, because let's face it, all of those teams in the Big Ten are all swing states. It's Ohio, it's Wisconsin, it's Nebraska, it's Michigan, it's Pennsylvania, and now that the Big Ten football is back and it's starting a week before the election, get fucked, Biden. You can play Despacito all you want to, my man, but it is going to be a motherfucking Big Ten fall championship for Ohio State. Yeah. Not a fucking prayer. Not a fucking prayer.
That'll be our fight to
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I look, all of my bets, all of my American dollars are now on Ohio State to do this. And I'll tell you why. Justin Fields wanted to play when he could have skipped it. He could have fucking skipped the shit. He wanted to play because he genuinely thinks that he is the best quarterback in the nation, and he's trying to get drafted number 1 in the upcoming NFL draft.
That would be a big deal.
It would.
But, I mean, he's going to go number 2.
I think
it depends on who's got those picks.
Right.
But he's going to be the top 5.
Physically, Lawrence is the guy. I mean, he looks like a quarterback that was birthed out of the vagina and then right into the NFL draft. He's pouncing around those sugar walls, came out, and you're like, oh shit, that's a quarterback.
He looks like one,
Yeah.
For sure. He's also like a really smart player in the game. So I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well.
You know, he didn't do well with Clippers.
No, they didn't. Boy.
Everybody is stunned that the Clippers lost. I was stunned with Game 7 in the first place.
I was too.
I thought really had that game wrapped up.
Yep.
And now we're looking at a fucking top.
This is.
I would not have bet on that.
Look, if you listen to the sports show during the NBA preview, I said my dark horse, but what I bet money on, that's what you guys bet money on, was the Denver Nuggets. They made it. Now, Doc Rivers has blown 3-1 leads in playoffs, and, they should shut the fuck up about political issues and actually focus on the team. There's no way the Clippers should have lost that series.
They have a farce, like their ability to just in their, and if you want to call it an expanded backcourt with Paul George at the small forward and Kawhi and Patrick Beverly, they should be able to lock a team down defensively without any problems.
Right.
Like honestly, there should be no issue for them to lock a team down defensively, and they just couldn't do it.
No.
I don't know what they were missing. I mean, Kawhi was Kawhi.
Yeah, look, he was fine. I don't know. Paul George, man, disappeared.
Yeah, he does that in the playoffs a lot, though.
Pandemic Paul, dude.
Yeah.
The COVID got him. He looked like shit in the bubble. He had a couple good games, but most of it he looked like shit. And the Clippers are out. They're bounced. I picked the Clippers to win it all. I had 3 bets down. I had the Clippers to win it all. You picked the Lakers to win it all this year.
Yeah, and I still think they're going to.
And I had Denver as my dark horse, and possibly Houston. Houston did all they could. Now it's Denver, and hey, the other dark horse this year was the Celtics for me.
Yeah,
and they're still in it right now, although they lost to the Heat.
It's going to be a Heat Lakers final, probably.
Maybe. The Heat are really hot right now.
They're good.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
But they look really goddamn good. So, I don't know. I'm curious. I want to see this series start and get on. But, if LeBron wins it, man, that'll be 4 for him.
Oof. I'm looking at these numbers from Game 7. Kawhi Leonard was 6 of 22.
Yeah.
And Paul George was 4 of 16.
Yeah.
You're not going to win like that.
No.
There's no way. And I didn't watch the game because we were out getting fucking wrecked with a bunch of people. But I don't know if they were just missing good shots, if they were being forced into taking bad shots. I don't know if it was the Nuggets defense or something. But I know that Jamal Murray lit it the fuck up. And he has been this whole goddamn postseason.
Right.
Like, he's been going off this whole postseason. So is Jokic.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
both had really good series. When the team gets hot like that, they're hard to fuck with, to be honest. And I think there's a decent chance that they give the Lakers a lot of trouble. Mm-hmm. But the Lakers, they have LeBron and AD. I just don't see it. Over 7 games, I just don't see them losing, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll find out. Are you live switching, Giorgio? Are we on a master? Okay. Because if so, I'll switch it out. And I'm not sure what the lighting's like. Ray Cash Care, get in here. I'm tired of you sticking your fucking beak in here, dude. What is it? What do you want to tell the people? You ditched us yesterday for Kid Rock.
I did not sorry, this is new. Hi, Ray Cashcare, former Navy SEAL. I did not ditch you, but I do want to come on here and publicly say I'm sorry to Dan Holloway.
He tried to power 69 me.
Yeah. You tried to reverse 69, Dan Holloway.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can see me, I tried doing a stand-in 69. It's a big move I like to pull with the wife. It's a big hit at the house. And I don't know how many hours I've been drinking, but I said, hey, Dan, I got this great fucking idea. It wasn't a great idea. It
wasn't.
So I got you up, though, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then I dropped him on his fucking head, and then I went flying. So, not a good day, but I wanted to publicly apologize. But there was a lesson learned from it. I'm all about, right, the wins and the L's. I'll obviously win or learn, and I learned that hopefully I'll never, ever do a stand in 69 with a guy in my life unless I'm in prison. And if I do, you're heavier than you look. But
Yeah.
I was pretty shithouse.
Stand up for me real quick, Ray, because I'm a gigantic man. People don't realize how fucking huge I am in real life. Look at this. What do you because you say 5'8", and that's not true.
Okay, I'm 5'7". Fuck you. All right, I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7" and 3/4 is what I like to say.
My problem is when you're this big, I look enormous on camera. But
you're a big dude.
I'm a hulking dude.
How tall are you?
Hulking figure, about 6'3.5".
So you look. You could have lied. Said 7, made me look taller.
Yeah, no, not a prayer, Ray. Not
But
a prayer.
no, I just wanted to say hi. We had a fucking great event. I am still hung the fuck over.
Yep,
And but we did the cool shit.
we did.
And I thought it was pretty epic. John Daly, we made that bet. That was an $11,000 bet.
Yeah, man. If you haven't seen the video, actually, we're gonna post it on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. You let John Daly hit a golf ball out of your mouth yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Which I would never have allowed in a million years. Now, John Daly starts off the day with a glass like this, styrofoam cup, full of vodka. Yep. And, dude, that's an intense day. Yep. An intense day. You might have to turn that down because of the feedback on it. But what happened was I didn't believe he had raged that hard, and he does.
Yeah.
So he started with that. When you guys did that shot out of your mouth, at that point, did you know he was probably 8 to 10 shots deep of vodka at that point?
Yeah, we've been fucking drinking. So, obviously we were hanging out with Kid Rock. He came over to Rob O'Neill's house yesterday. We started, we had biscuits and gravy for the first time in my life. Thank you, Audrey. Kid Rock's. You should be thanking Bert Koontz, too. Well, I will. Thank you, Bert Koontz. This is not about Bert Koontz.
No, it's not.
Fucking hate that piece of shit. I love you, Bert. But me and Kid started drinking about 7 a.m., and then we met John, and I'm a big fan of John, and he had a big glass of, and we got there at like 10 a.m., and he had a giant styrofoam cup full of vodka.
Yep.
But the way, I don't know how it got elevated so quickly. I think I was on like the 14th hole. I don't know how it happened, but next thing I know, like, you know, Kid Rock's holding my phone. He goes, "Come on, man, don't be a pussy." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I didn't. If you watch the video, I was calm and cool, but when it was over with, I was like, "Dude, if he would have hit me, I would have died."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, no warm up, no nothing.
And
but,
he took a full swing with a driver.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what he told me, and I mean, I love it because he was because he was drunk, barefoot playing. He goes, "Listen,
Yeah.
if anybody's probably gonna not miss, it'll probably be me. So your chances are pretty okay." And I was
Yeah.
like, "All right." And he goes, and then Kid Rock said, "Listen, I'll fucking throw down $10K for the charity, for
Yeah.
the organization, and I won a push-up contest yesterday. I beat a 21-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And John bet me $1,000." He threw down fucking $1,000 right in front of me and said, "If you beat the kid, you can give it and donate it." And I did.
Has he not seen these videos that you post all the time of you doing 1,000 push-ups per day? Because
No.
obviously that's a bad bet to make. Unless the 20-year-old also looks like you. I'm not taking that.
He was in good shape, but he just wasn't in good enough shape. And what was so fucking
Yeah.
cool about that is I told Kid Rock, Bob Ritchie, give me 15-minute increments at the end after 30 seconds. So I got to 75. Where the kid was at, and I just stood there for a second. I said, "Where we at?" And he's like, 5, and I knocked out 2 real slow for him, and then just fucking mic dropped. And I was fucking out. So it was awesome, man. And then I just I pulled the John Wayne. I didn't look back. I picked up the money and I just left.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah,
awesome.
You did.
Yeah.
You really fucking did it last night, Ray. I'm proud of you. And I told you, because you said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry I wasn't on the show." You came back later, and I go, "Dude, if you get the opportunity to spend the entire day with Kid Rock playing golf, that's the greatest day ever." And fucking A, man.
We probably had 30 beers. I mean, I
Easily.
was a Rob O'Neill
McTeams,
and
yeah.
McTeams
Yeah.
put me to bed last night. I woke up naked and my ass was sore, and they said nothing happened. So I
Have you
don't.
seen McTeam's fucking photography book?
Amazing. I have it.
Holy
Uncommon Grit.
shit.
Amazing, guys.
Uncommon, what's it called?
Uncommon Grit. He's getting
It's-
ready to relaunch it here soon. I don't want to plug. I mean, I'm plugging him, but
Yeah.
you'll have to follow him. But it is an amazing book.
Follow him on Instagram. He's a fucking great photographer.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like he looks like kind of a mix between a hippie and a hillbilly.
And he's big. He's a
Doesn't wear
big
shoes. He's
dude,
a big
man.
dude, but
Yeah.
he's like super smart.
Oh, he's wicked
Was an
fucking
operator,
smart.
obviously, but he's super smart and he's very talented with the photography thing.
And he's humble too about
I
it.
didn't expect that.
It was funny because we had this young kid coming up. Like, we're all sitting around, like, you know, at the post party, and we're all fucking shithouse. And this kid comes up, and he's like, "Hey," Kid Rock, let me show you these cool pictures I did. And then McTeams just starts smiling. He's like, and Kid Rock goes, "Do you know who the fuck I'm with?" And he's like, "No." And, like, he starts looking at the pictures and then realizes who it is because the guy was – it's funny. They have that front sight focus. Like, you know how I am when I see you.
Mm-hmm.
And, I want to talk about something about John Daly. John Daly showed me a picture of something.
Mm-hmm.
He has got a cock the size of Nebraska. His cock is
Big
bigger
dick.
than this.
Yeah, he's got a
I'm
huge-
serious.
huge hammer on
Literally,
him.
I don't want to be – I have nothing but respect for Big John, but he is not called Big John because he's just a big man. He is called that because literally he's got game.
He's got a huge penis.
Huge
penis.
I mean, I stared at it.
We should have had his penis on the show.
That'd be a whole nother guest, though.
Just
So-
interview the penis.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. Yeah.
There's a challenge that we're talking about doing a $50,000 bet. Ready?
Okay.
I don't know how this is going to work, but there's a big event that McTeams is throwing in October. I'll talk to you guys about it later, a golf tournament. And what they're trying to figure out is a way to get the golf ball to sit somewhere else on me and him knock it off that.
So you want to get hard and have the
I want to get hard and have him
Wow.
knock. But I can't put the tee in my hole. That'd hurt too much.
No, you're gonna have to put you're gonna put it right on the head of your penis.
But if he hits my dick, I die.
I don't
would
think
put
you.
the-
I
I
don't
would-
think you'll be able to maintain erection unless he goes to Roman.
Roman. Get Roman.
GetRoman.com/Drinkin Bros.
Look at that. Boom.
Boom.
You do that.
Get those boner pills and then put a golf ball on it. You're good to go on that. But
Would you watch
I'd
it?
love to see it.
Yeah, I
Fuck
would
yeah. We would.
absolutely
We
watch
would.
that, yes.
We would televise it. We'd go live.
And I've gotten a lot of, I mean, you guys obviously blasted on your thing, so we got a ton of followers, a lot of cool traction from that.
Yeah, Barstool's going to post that video of you getting the golf ball hit out of your mouth, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they said they're going to, so that'll be epic.
Tell
and-
them to post the fucking charity too. By the way,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
do that. Yeah,
If they're
good
doing-
stuff. It
because
was,
they're big military supporters too over there.
yeah, I love it. They're doing great
they're good
things.
guys.
You guys
I
are doing
love-
great things.
Huge.
Yeah,
Hey man.
but
And
we
speaking
love
of
Barstool, man. I love those guys.
We love
They're
Barstool.
funny as shit. I love how El Presidente's been on vacation for 6 months. Just like
Unbelievable.
televising the whole thing, get fucked up in the middle of the day.
Getting rocked
I love
midday,
that.
tan as shit.
I love that dude so much. He's so funny.
Speaking of people doing a lot of great things, we want to give a shout out to Leatherwood Distillery, where we are live from today.
Where did Andy go?
They were on the, what was it, the ninth hole with us yesterday?
Us, yeah.
Yeah.
They kept us fucking boozed up all day yesterday.
Yeah. And if you're in Nashville, Tennessee, stop by, support their company. Jared Taylor came in yesterday, bought an entire case. Some of the finest spirits in the land here.
Yeah, they're great.
At Leatherwood Distillery. He was on the show. Here's the owner. Thank you for having us today. We greatly appreciate it.
Dude, awesome to have you here. I'm so glad you're here.
Can I ask a
That
question?
sounded a little fake.
Yeah,
didn't
that sounded really fake.
Like, I'm so glad to have you here.
Yeah.
That didn't sound
I mean,
real
if you
at
guys
all.
were grabbing my balls right now, it'd be even better. But
Ray's, Ray's the one
man.
that's probably going to be naked before.
So
the
You
I
show.
want
had-
people to come into your establishment, not leave your establishment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you throw a creepy uncle smile and say it'd be great if my balls were held right now, and I can smell that. That's a Marlboro Red on your breath right there.
honestly, if you've ever seen the people that hang out here, you'd be like all in. I love this place because they grab balls and shit.
Dirtbags attract other dirtbags.
Dirtbags attract other
That's why
dirtbags.
I only hang out with dirtbags for that very reason.
Come to Leatherwood Distillery
Yeah.
if you're in the Nashville, Tennessee area. If you want to see this dirtbag behind us, we got some sponsors, D'Anthony, who put this whole show on the air. First and foremost, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros.
Well, this is a sports show.
That's where we're doing sports today. That's how hungover I am, dude.
Yeah.
That is how hungover I am.
Boom.
KillcliffCBD.com is our
Drink more.
sports
But you can drink Killcliff in a ghost bed.
show
so it's fine.
sponsor. What's up?
You can drink Killcliff in your ghost bed.
Yeah, you can drink Killcliff in your ghost bed. Go
Yeah.
to killcliffcbd.com today. We had them on the show yesterday. Everybody was drinking them
They
yesterday.
got the new strawberry days out
Yep.
now.
Big flavor,
It's
dude.
like strawberry lemonade, CBD, basically. It's
25
fucking good.
milligrams of CBD in every single can. Go to killcliffcbd.com today. You will not piss hot. There is no THC in any of these cans. 20% off and free shipping with the promo code Drinkin Bros. So go there now and get that and then have it in the ghost bed.
Yeah.
At ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. If you're a member of the military or first responder, work for the government, or a teacher in this world, you can get 30% off of everything in the entire store. Pillows, sheets, mattresses, adjustable bases. You name it, they got it. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. And as always, they got a 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. And we should say we talked about getting hard. We should say getroman.com/Drinkin Bros.
I mean, if you're trying to get hard, that's a good way to do it.
Boner pills. Discreetly shipped to your house within 48 hours. Your mistress won't know, your wife won't know, your kids won't know that you're all hopped up on boner pills.
Your dog will probably know.
Well, your dog will definitely know.
But dogs-
Only if you got a lot of peanut butter around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God. What is happening?
Go to
Now this
getroman.com/Drinkin Bros. That's what happens when the owner of a distillery drinks his own liquor all day long.
He just walked out too. That was awesome.
That's a good
dude.
line to leave on, though.
It is. It's a great line to leave on. D'Anthony, we'll
Yep.
get to the spread, shall we? You don't know sports, do you, right?
Not real well.
Well, that's really helpful, Ray. Thanks.
I know a little bit of sports. I mean,
Say goodbye to the audience, Ray. We got some spreads to do here.
Bye, guys.
And all of these spreads we bet on are brought to you by mybookie.com. So every spread that you're going to hear today is on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposit. That's where we are betting all season long. There we go. Here's the kill, Cliff. Is there any vodka
Sweet.
back there by any chance?
Oh,
We're at a distillery. So
Yeah.
it's probably vodka.
Well, it depends. You never know. We're good on that. No. We're live here. Fuck it. Shit's going down, dude.
Yeah.
Let's get to the spreads, shall we?
Let me pull 'em
My
up.
God. By the way, Ohio State by 80 in every single game. If I haven't said it already, I'm sure I have. But
Well, they're going to play an all Big Ten schedule, just like everybody else is playing an all conference schedule. right?
correct. But they're
So-
going to win by 80 points.
I mean,
in
there's
every
nobody in the Big Ten that
single.
can beat them.
Wisconsin is coming in at number 6. Penn State, your alma mater, is coming in at
Neither
number
one
9.
Of those, neither one of those teams can beat Ohio State.
I don't believe so either. I don't think
There's no
anybody's beating
way.
Ohio State this year,
They're-
but that's just me.
no.
So next week, by the way, we'll be doing a college football preview show where we go through all the teams in the top 25. Now that the season is set,
Yeah.
because Pac-12 just announced right now that they are not going to have a season. COVID and the fires are too much.
Nobody gives a fuck about the Pac-12 anyways.
No. And nobody's
Honestly.
complaining about it
No.
because they don't have a shot at the title.
No.
Or they don't have a team at the shot at the title.
No, fuck those guys.
First and foremost here on mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros, which will double your deposit here on the gambling. Tulsa versus Oklahoma State. The spread is 22.5 on ESPN. Do you have it differently on
It's
MyBookie?
23.5.
So people are betting. So whenever we do the spreads like this from mybookie.com, I'll do ESPN first, and then he'll do mybookie.com. The reason why is you can tell if people are betting, and the odds change like that.
Yeah.
So if they're going up a point, that means everybody's betting on Oklahoma
Yep.
State. I'm fine with this as well. I'm going to take Oklahoma State's at 23.5. It's probably a 4-score game.
Kind of low.
Yeah.
I expected this one to be more like 28 to 30.
I did too, to be honest with you.
It's fine. I mean,
but
a lot of teams had trouble week one.
They
Both
did.
in the NFL
and
and in college, so maybe that's something, but I don't know.
And what I will say is this, because you and I were at the Texas game. I was 1-2 in college picks this weekend. My only win was the Texas game, ironically, and that spread was 44.
I won the spread and the over on that one.
I don't know what the over was, to be
It
honest
was like
with
54, and it was like, what was the final score, like 58 to 3 or some shit like
you.
that?
59-3,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
We left in the fourth.
Yeah.
We crushed an NFL, absolutely fucking destroyed last week. Won a shit ton of money. I'll give you the exact figure here because I'm looking at the accounts.
Well, I don't know how much actual money I made.
I won $2,231.63. I don't know why the fucking cents, but destroyed in the NFL.
Yeah, I won about 27, somewhere around there probably.
Yeah, didn't do so well in college. The one thing that I want to say about you guys, or say to you guys, if you're betting on college football this year, having been in the stadium, which Dan and I were inside the stadium, it's really fucking weird. There is barely
It's weird.
any fans.
There's no energy in the stadium at all.
And therefore, I don't know about some of these spreads going forward, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the home
Particularly-
crowd behind you or against you
particularly
to play.
for some of those teams, like the Big 12 is like this. There's a lot of hard outs in the Big 12. There's a lot in the SEC too, like Auburn, for example. Even when they're not good, it's still hard to go there and beat them.
Right.
And Baylor's like that. Baylor, it's hard to go into Baylor and beat them. Texas has trouble with them every year. Oklahoma has trouble with them every year. I don't think it's going to be the case this year. I think these good teams or these great teams are going to go into the home stadiums of good teams and beat the fucking Christ out of them. Honestly.
I do too. It just depends on how disciplined the players are. And it's a weird year, and it might be hard to bet. We will see once the big guns start playing with the SEC and Big
It's
Ten.
funny. We were talking about it yesterday, and McTeams was telling me, like, the safest place that those kids could be right now is together.
Correct.
With adult supervision
Yep.
and that, like, not back home, because who the
No.
fuck knows what's happening back there, right?
And the Coach Orgeron for LSU today, go Tigers. He had said during a presser earlier that he thinks that almost every player had COVID on his team.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's herd immunity. Those guys can't get it again, and it's like it's going to make their schedule and their playing easier.
They're not going to have to
They're not
worry
gonna
about
lose
any
anybody.
interruptions and shit like that,
Right.
for sure, yeah.
They're definitely not going to lose anybody. I know Alabama had a lot of people out as well. Clemson, Ohio State. So those teams will be all right. Some of these games have been canceled. Last week's Oklahoma State game was canceled. But it's 22.5 against Tulsa.
Yep.
I'm betting
Well,
that.
it's
I'm
23
taking
and a half,
that.
but I'm taking that still.
Yeah, I'm taking that as well. Next up, there's Austin P, who is 0-2. They've already played 2 games thus far against Cincinnati. Spread for this. And it could be because it's Austin P. Let's be honest with each other.
It's not even on my bookie.
Yeah. So, a game like that, if it does pop up, look, Cincinnati's got a pretty good squad this year. They're ranked number 13, but we'll see.
Yeah, they're not going to lose to. I mean, the spread would probably have come out and been like 40.
Yeah.
And they sometimes just don't do it because it's not worth it. Like the way gambling works, somebody's got to be the bank for that.
Right.
Right. Like these gambling companies, the casinos, whoever it is, they put up enough money to cover a certain percentage of the stake, right? And that's why the spreads change when people start betting on it because it's just a fucking mathematical algorithm. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see Texas UTEP had one last week. Frankly,
I was too, man.
it was 44. That's
yeah.
the highest spread I think. Well, no, we've seen some in the low 50s actually.
Yeah.
but it's one of the highest spreads I've ever seen.
Some of Alabama's spreads
but
were
what's
reached
the
the
fucking
50s.
point? I don't.
I don't know, man. It's going to be weird. Like, I mean, look, you take this week, right? This is a perfect example. You've got number 19, Louisiana. Now, this is University of Louisiana. This isn't LSU. This is University of Louisiana. They beat Iowa State last week. Fucking crushed them. We picked Iowa State. We lost on that game. And both of us were surprised by that spread. Apparently, somebody knew something we didn't.
Yeah.
They are now ranked this week, and they are going up against Georgia State. The spread is 17.
By the way, they're not going to be ranked next week, no matter what happens in this game, because all those Big Ten schools are coming back into the rankings.
Yes, and they'll push them out.
There's going to be 4 to 5 Big Ten teams that come and push out the bottom 5, basically.
But that being said, with Louisiana versus Georgia State at minus 17, I don't bet this because I don't know enough about Louisiana. And just because they're ranked right now, Georgia State hasn't played a game yet. I have no
This is
idea.
a huge over, 58.5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for college, that's pretty normal, actually, but I don't know who these – there's nothing good to bet on in this game, in my opinion.
No,
like,
nothing.
Statistically speaking, I wouldn't bet on any of this.
Nothing. Next up, we got Syracuse against Pittsburgh. Syracuse looked like shit last week against North Carolina.
They're one of the worst college football teams in the country.
I had that North Carolina game. I think it might have been 2-2 in college, but either way, I was not great, not my usual self.
All those all those teams that played basketball in the Big East back in the day.
Yeah.
None of them, like Rutgers and shit, they can't play fucking football.
No.
Get out of here. Why do you even have teams?
They're terrible. Pitt, they're playing Pitt, who's number 25, and the line is 21.5.
No fucking way I'm betting that.
No way.
I'm not giving Pittsburgh 3 touchdowns plus.
No.
On any team they play.
No.
Because I don't know enough about that team. They're not like –
And look, North Carolina.
They're not like a powerhouse or anything.
Yeah.
I know Syracuse sucks, but that's a huge fucking spread.
North Carolina is ranked 12th right now.
Yeah.
And they only won. I mean, they barely covered the spread last week.
They got a pretty good coach now, I hear.
Yeah, Mac Brown's good. Mac Brown has always been decent. I know Texas fans hate him, but he's always been decent. The one thing, though, with this game is like, dude, this is virtually the same spread as North Carolina. And if you're telling me that Pittsburgh is as good as North Carolina, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, there's no way.
So I would actually, and I'm going to bet lightly on college football this week. I'll take this. I'll put 100 on it.
You're going to take Syracuse with the points?
Yeah, I'll take Syracuse with the points just because it's 21.5.
Yeah, I'm taking
Even
that
if it
too.
is a 3-score game, I'm going to do it. But I want to see the next couple weeks how this shakes out because being inside the stadium last week, it's fucking weird. And your team needs to be unbelievably disciplined to start beating these spreads. And with no fans, and there's going to be no fans for the remainder of this shit.
Yeah.
It's really fucking hard to bet on college-wise. NFL is different because NFL is NFL, man. Those are professionals.
There was some weird shit week 1.
But the spreads are what I thought they were, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the spreads were good, I thought. I guess you can't really account for the fact that the teams haven't had a whole lot of time together in game situations. There was no preseason and shit like that. So there's going to be some rust weeks 1 through 3. But things will still, like I was 8-3 on all my bets on the NFL last week. Yeah. So it's clearly still mostly predictable. And the ones I lost were like fucking Brady not covering or
Brady looked like shit.
He looked really bad, but I mean, it was clearly like a lot of the problems they had was miscommunication between him, mostly Mike Evans. Yeah, right.
Yep.
They weren't hooked up very well, and he threw at least one of those picks was definitely because of that. So I don't know. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I expect next week and the week after to go away.
Sure.
So I think it's going to become more predictable again, and those bets are going to be good again.
I do too. These might be tough. Therefore, I'm going to barely dip a toe into college football this week. NFL, I'm going hard as shit, the same as last weekend. South Florida is up next against Notre Dame. Notre Dame did not cover. I bet on Notre Dame heavily last week. They look like shit.
They never fucking cover.
This spread is now 26 against South Florida.
It's 25.5. People are betting South Florida.
People are betting South Florida.
With the points, yeah.
I look, man, I'm in that camp. I would take South Florida in this one.
Yeah, same. I think Notre Dame is going to have another one of those underperforming years where they fucking suck.
Yeah.
They suck up until there's like 3 or 4 minutes left in the first half. Then they have a pretty decent third quarter, and they can't close out games. Yeah. Like, it's the same old fucking story.
Yeah, man.
And Kalen Cothran, you can get fucked or whatever your stupid name is.
Yeah, dude. I just don't see.
you're
I don't see
dumbly-
Notre Dame doing anything this
No,
year.
there's no way.
All of those predictions that those pundits
What are they
made about
ranked
Notre
right
Dame
now?
making the playoffs. In what fucking world?
Yeah, there's no way.
Watching that first week game, they were terrible.
The one time they did make the playoffs recently, Clemson fucking slaughtered them.
What was it? 58-0. No, it was Alabama beat them.
Clemson beat them like
In the national championship.
48-3,
Mm-hmm.
and then when when Bama played them, it was
Notre Dame's not going to the
fucking
playoffs for a very long time.
No,
We're all
and they
done
don't
with-
deserve to be. Every time they get there,
No.
they suck. They're like the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning
Yeah.
or the Braves in the 90s.
Yeah.
Once they get into the playoffs, they fucking suck. Actually, the Braves now kind of suck in the playoffs too.
We'll find out in this playoff season, but tread lightly on that one. I'm going to take it probably for a hundo against Notre Dame on that one. Next up is Charlotte against North Carolina. North Carolina's moved up to 12. Again, these rankings will change next week when the Big Ten enters back into the AP and coaches poll. With this one, man, this is UNC minus 29.5.
It's down to 29.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So people are betting on Charlotte on this one. Man, I don't know enough about Charlotte to make an educated
really
guess
bad.
on this. Yeah. But 30 points is a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until later. If it's already moved half a point today,
Yep.
so I'm gonna wait for probably until what's today, Wednesday.
Mhm.
Probably wait until Friday to bet on this, just to see where that line goes. If it goes up, I'm not gonna bet it. If it goes down to 28,
Yeah.
I'll probably buy half a point, take it to 27.5, and I'll bet that because I
Yeah.
think it is a 4-score game.
Yeah. I would see a 4-score game as well.
And the over is right now is it?
60.
I would take the over right now because it's a 59.5, and I think they're absolutely gonna. I think North Carolina is probably gonna score low 50s by themselves.
Okay.
So I'm taking the over in that as well.
We'll find out. Next up, UCF, who's ranked number 14 against Georgia Tech. The spread is minus 7.5 on this one. Look, man, UCF has won a national championship. We can agree on that,
Nope.
right? Yep.
Nope.
Yep. They were undefeated and they were national champion. I think they shared it with Alabama that year.
They were undefeated,
but
but as soon as they played a truly great team, they got their fucking shit pushed in. The next
no,
year.
they
The
actually
next
won
year.
the next year.
Yeah.
Next year. Well, their quarterback was hurt, so
Yeah, it's true.
it's a tough
Yeah.
one. That kid was a superstar. I feel bad. That was a horrific injury, by the way.
Yeah, where's he at now?
He's still rehabbing, man.
Like fucking Alex Smith style?
Yeah, dude.
Shit.
It's bad.
Alex Smith is back, kind of.
Well, he made the roster.
Yeah.
This is UCF at minus 7.5. Truthfully, man, I don't touch this game. Again, I want to see a couple weeks of college season for this to shake out and see where you go here. You don't really fucking know, and there's no fans in the stands there either. So we'll see. Next up, we got Appalachian State, number 23 against Marshall. Marshall looks great first week. I watched that entire game, by the way. They blew the fucking doors off of someone. I can't even remember the goddamn school name, but this is App State's minus 4.5. Look, you know me from numerous films.
I like App State.
And extravaganzas. You also know the fact that I love App State because they beat Michigan back in the day.
Yeah.
And,
what was that, 2013 or some shit?
It was
like
blocked
the
field
first
goal.
game of the season,
Blocked
right?
field goal,
Yeah.
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 I was in Vegas. It was fantastic. So I'll always have a soft spot for App State. At minus 4.5, I might take this, but like for $50 just to do it.
Something small.
Something dumb. The next up, we got the Citadel against Clemson. I don't have a spread on this. I don't think the Citadel is I think they're an FCS school, I believe.
Are they D2? I mean, there's no D2 anymore.
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, they get fucking rocked anytime they play anybody.
Yeah,
So it's like-
and if I remember correctly, one of the spreads that was in the 50s that you were talking about was Alabama against the Citadel.
Yeah, or maybe it was Clemson because Clemson plays them usually.
Yeah.
But I don't think they are this year because there's no out-of-conference shit. So who are they playing? Because I'm not seeing a line for it.
The Citadel.
I know, I mean,
Clemson's playing the Citadel. Yeah, there's no line. It's an FCF school. So there's not going to be a line for this.
I mean, Clemson's going to win by 50 points, probably.
Easily.
And people have been bitching about that lately in the NFL. People gave the Ravens a bunch of shit for leaving Lamar Jackson in when they were up 30 or whatever. Like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
There was no preseason.
None.
So these guys have to get tuned the fuck up. It's not about this week.
Yeah,
once he's up 30, they can start doing some of the shit they normally would have done in preseason. You know what I mean? Like, just shut the fuck up. I don't understand all the bitching about it.
And somebody asked me on Drinkin Bros Sports if any of the Big Ten teams made the college football playoff or should be considered for the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Since they're playing only 8 games plus the Big Ten championship, which is 9. Yes, they should. I believe the SEC is playing 10 or 11 and with their championship game, and I believe the ACC is doing the same thing, either 10 or 11.
I mean, look,
but
the 8 or 9 games that people play in the Big Ten are going to be more heavily weighted, in my opinion, than the games, the 10 or 11 that Clemson plays in the ACC for sure.
Correct.
Because they get to play, like, North Carolina's pretty good this year, but they get to play fucking Duke, the Citadel.
Yeah.
They get to fucking play. I mean, they got to play Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame on their schedule?
yeah, Notre Dame's on the schedule.
So it's like they got to play Notre Dame and North Carolina, but everybody else sucks. Dude,
Sucks.
It's the ACC. They really only have the one good team. It's Clemson. North Carolina's becoming better. We'll see, but you've got to have a stretch of like 3 or 4 consecutive years of being good before you start getting real recruits there, and then you turn into like that's what fucking Dabo Swinney did in Clemson.
Yeah,
I mean he totally turned that program around. But man, I would say that Ohio State having to play Michigan and Wisconsin and Penn State is more difficult, no matter how many total games they play, than anything Clemson's going to do this year. Frankly,
the other part about this is, again, this Citadel game is a perfect example. So what? That's your extra game. Ohio State is playing all in-conference games only.
Yeah.
They're not playing the
I mean, they
Citadel.
get to play Vanderbilt, though. You know what I mean?
Who?
The
SEC?
Ohio State, or not Ohio State, but the SEC.
Yeah.
And Ohio and in the Big Ten, they're going to play.
It's Rutgers. Look, Rutgers is a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, but there is no out-of-conference games where you're playing the Citadel, and it's like, man, I don't want to fucking hear it. And I don't think the college football committee will care, especially this year during the age of COVID. Like. People are just happy everybody's been able to play.
All bets are off right
All
now.
bets are off, and I think they will just look at who they genuinely think is the best teams and who deserves it, and go from there based on lineups.
Yeah.
To be honest with
agree.
you, along with records.
I mean, it'll be. This will be a really interesting CFP season, frankly, just to see how they decide to do everything, because I think some of these leagues have been really creative and fun with the way they've handled this situation, and some of them have kind of like. Some of them are kind of stupid. Like, to be honest, I'm not looking forward to the baseball playoffs that much. I think all these weird little fucking things that are going to happen are going to be. I think it's going to be hard to follow everything. Like this 1-game playoffs here and other bullshit, and then once it gets back to normal and you have the teams that are playing in 5 to 7 game series, whatever it is, then I'll start paying more attention. But the first part is just like a fucking scramble.
And they are going to be in a bubble. We found that out, and there's
For
going to
the
be
playoffs,
fans in
yeah.
the stands.
Yeah.
So you can go to drinkinbrostickets.com for all your tickets. Dan and I will be going to the Cowboys game
on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah,
So if
against
you're in
the
the Dallas
Atlanta
area,
Falcons.
come
If
hang
you're
out.
in the-
Do we have our tickets yet?
Do
we know what
No, we're
section?
getting them. I think tomorrow.
Oh,
or
we're gonna be-
tonight.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think it's
a
the
suite.
suite.
Yeah, we're gonna be
but
a suite.
we'll put the suite up. Go to Drinkin
Yeah.
Bros Sports on Facebook. We will put it there. As always, dude, you can get every ticket you could ever imagine on drinkinbrostickets.com, and that's for every sport available, every concert, every single thing. Go to drinkinbrostickets.com. Next up is the game of the weekend, number 17 Miami against number 18 Louisville. Now, with that being the game of the week, that shows you how weak this fucking schedule is coming up on
This should
Saturday.
be a really good game, though. This is probably going to be a 1-score game.
Look, the spread is 2.5
Yeah.
for Louisville right now, and I'm going to be honest. I like that spread. This will probably be my biggest college football bet of the weekend, and I'll probably throw about $300 on this. I think Louisville will beat Miami. Miami's still missing a quarterback who's any good.
What's the guy? Is it Trask or some shit?
Look, Tate Martell is down there, but I don't know if he's playing. Like they're 1-0 and they won last week, and so did Louisville. But with a small spread like that, I'm fine. Because even without fans in the stand, you're still going to be playing your ass off to win.
Yeah.
To win is by a field goal. This is under a field goal. Therefore, I'm going to take Louisville this week, and this will be my biggest college football bet
I'll
of
take
Saturday.
that. I think 2.5 is good. I mean, it's still 2.5 today, which means whatever gambling's happening on it agrees with what the fuck is happening.
It's pretty even, yeah. Virginia against Virginia Tech has been postponed due to COVID. BYU versus Army has also been postponed due to COVID, as well as Houston versus Memphis that has been postponed due to COVID. We're going to flip on over to the NFL this week. As always, bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposit. This Thursday night game, Dan, is fucking horrid. It is the Bengals against the Browns.
So sometimes you'll see Thursday and Monday night, and then even the Sunday night games that are weird. But like, well, I guess if you think about it from the perspective of the schedule maker, 2 months before the season started, yeah, it makes sense because these teams should have been good. Just this happened or that happened or they didn't perform or whatever the fuck. There was no universe.
Yeah.
Where the fucking Bengals were going to be good.
No.
Literally no universe. I know it's an internal Ohio matchup. And it's
it's a
also
rivalry for them, I guess.
It's also a campaign season, so the fucking media is very valuable right now inside of those swing states. Whether it's if it was like the Eagles and the Steelers playing, that would be a big
Correct.
one. Or any of that shit. I got it, dude. For real, I got it. But what the fuck? Or if it was Minnesota versus the Packers, or any of that shit, or even the Lions, any of those fucking NFC North teams. But now it's like. The Bengals. Why, dude? Why would you do this to us?
I guess Joe Burrow, that's the only thing I could possibly think of. It's
good that he's going to get to play a game on the national stage early this,
and he looks great opening week. He looks like an NFL quarterback who's going to be great.
Well, if he doesn't get murdered by the fact that they don't have a goddamn offensive line there.
Correct.
We'll see.
But if I'm betting on this game and I'm going Baker Mayfield against Joe Burrow, I'm actually taking Joe Burrow. Baker Mayfield looked fucking awful last week.
Imagine Joe Burrow on the fucking Browns.
Oh, boy. Could
with
you
that
imagine?
fucking team, dude. It's so stupid. Like, what the fuck?
It would have been a video game.
In what world do you continue with Baker Mayfield?
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought by week 4 last year he would be gone.
Yeah.
And we'd never see him play again.
Look, I'm calling it now. Week 4, Case Keenum starts. Mayfield is going to have 3, and that's it. So... good luck with it.
I don't get it, man.
I'm no lie. I'm going to take the Bengals.
I'm probably not going to watch this game. You're taking the Bengals with the points or to win?
With the points.
I
think it's going to be a field goal game.
It's +6.
Yeah, it's not.
Right
so
now,
that's a +6.
Yeah.
So people are betting on the Browns heavily. Look, man, I don't believe in the fucking Browns. I don't believe in Mayfield. Frankly, it sounds weird to say, but look, the Bengals almost have the same amount of weapons. They got Joe Mixon. They got AJ Green. They got Tyler Boyd, and
what?
We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. So I'm going to take the Bengals plus the points, but I can see the Browns winning by a field goal. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I'll take that. That's a good runner. I mean, you can.
It's a good flyer for $100.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
The over under is 43.5.
Yeah,
too.
And I'll take a 6-point teaser on it going the other way.
That's a 24 to 23 game.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. Look, it's Ohio, dude.
Or
20 shitty teams playing each other.
It's 24,
21.
20,
yeah,
something like that. I mean,
that would be the final score of that. And I think the Browns might win by a field goal. I'm going to take both. Probably take a teaser on that as well. Yeah. Next up, we got the Giants against the Bears. The Bears are favored by -5.5 here in this one. They looked okay. Trubisky actually had a good game last Sunday.
Yeah,
which was a shock.
I think this is a good time to bet against Trubisky.
Yep.
This week. But if he wins this week and he looks good again, then you have to start reevaluating how because look, he's never been not talented physically. He just is inaccurate. You can't be an inaccurate quarterback.
Right.
Like that's the whole fucking point of this shit.
Yeah.
Is getting the ball into the hands of your fucking receivers. And their defense is good enough where he only has to throw probably 18 to 25 passes a game, frankly, with the running game they have as well. He's not been good in his career so far.
No.
He had a good game last week. Once is, if something happens once, it's like, all right, cool. Twice could be a coincidence. 3 times is a pattern. So I'm going to bet against him this week and probably next week as well, regardless of what happens.
I'm actually going to take the Bears this week. I did not like the Giants this weekend. Saquon Barkley only had fucking 30 yards in that game for some inexplicable reason. Either the Steelers' defense was that great, or he's going to be off to a slow start because there was no preseason. I don't know, but the Bears' defense is still the Bears' defense. So I'm going to take the Bears at -5.5 in this one, and I'll bet that with confidence. Like I feel pretty good about that bet. Next up is the game that you and I will be at, the Falcons against the Cowboys. One of the biggest losses we took last weekend was the Bucs and the Cowboys. The Cowboys looked like shit. Dak Prescott wants $40 million a year for that. Jesus Christ.
When he's under, so here's the problem with Prescott. Aside from not being, he can't throw an out to the right side of the field.
No.
At all. He overthrows or throws it wide right, just like Trubisky, by the way, every single time. Like you see his receivers make the catch, like because he's got the best goddamn receivers in the world on that team, and he still can't get it to him. But anytime he gets pressured, even a little bit, he loses his. He doesn't panic. At least it doesn't look like he's panicking in the pocket, but he fucking loses his ability to throw accurate passes if he's getting pressured.
Right.
And you can't. That is not a top tier quarterback, dude.
No.
Staying into the last minute, throwing the pass, getting rocked in the pass, still making it where it's going to go. That's how you get paid $40 million a year.
Right.
Not by not being like that. Fucking what was it? Like 3 minutes left in the game. It was 3rd and fucking 4 or some shit like that. And he tries to do a dump pass, just guys wide the fuck open. Throws it at his feet. I'm like, and Xander's sitting there with us. He's a diehard Cowboys fan. We're like. I could tell how much he was suffering.
Oh, and I just kept laying into him, too.
He's just like, it's every
Whenever there's a diehard
year.
Cowboys fan anywhere near me and they're losing, I will fucking lay into them. This spread right now is -4 for Dallas. I'm actually going to take the Falcons. I think this is going to be a close game and a field goal game. The over here is at 52.5. I think there's going to be a lot of fucking points on the board.
Yeah,
both defenses looked like shit last week.
The Cowboys defense... Maybe it speaks more to the offensive line that they were up against, but they were getting pushed somewhere between 1.5 yards and 2.5 yards deep on every fucking play.
Yeah.
Like usually, like what you want from your defense more than anything other. I mean, a good coverage, obviously, but what you want most from your defense is penetration, and that's what it causes mistakes. You get sacked sometimes, but it causes mistakes to force turnovers. It pressures the guy. It takes them out of their game plan and everything like that. The Cowboys achieved that 0 time. They had 1 sack, and they rushed the quarterback like 4 times, I think.
Yep.
That whole game. It was like 4 times they made the quarterback run, and once they got a sack, I think, in that whole fucking game. And that is not a bad defense, by the way. Their edge rushers, I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence is a fucking great edge rusher.
Tank Lawrence is fucking awesome, man.
So they just got fucking down. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're miscommunicating or what it is.
DBs, man, has always been a problem for them, and I think it's going to continue to be a problem for them this year. Look, it is a pick'em game, in my opinion. Cowboys might win because they're going to have fans in the stands, and it's half full. So if you're going, again, go to drinkinbrostickets.com. If you're going, seats are available, and you'll be at 50% capacity in Dallas. But I think I'll take the Falcons plus the points in this, knowing that it might be a field goal game. And that's not the homer in me. Look, Falcons looked like shit last week, and their defense looked like shit.
I'm definitely taking the over of 52.5. That's a 27-26 game. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
This is going to be like a 35-32 game. Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's no fucking way.
Exactly. I'm in on that as well. Next up, we've got the Lions against the Packers. Man, I feel for you Lions fans. Last week when DeAndre Swift dropped that ball in the end zone, that was it. They won
like 4 seconds left.
4 seconds left. They won the game. They beat the Bears. They won that game, and he dropped the fucking ball with 6 seconds left.
That's a rough way to start your career, by the way.
Tough, man. But they look decent. T.J. Hawkinson looked great for all you fantasy guys out there, and but the Packers.
If you're in need, I mean, you're not going to get him on the open market, but if you've got bulk and wide receiver, running back, if you got a couple of extra quarterbacks you could trade for him at this point, he's going to have a big year.
Be a good deal to make, man. But this is Packers -6 at home. Aaron Rodgers looked amazing last week.
I'm taking this -6 all fucking day.
Same here, man.
To
I'm
me,
taking
this
the Packers.
is a 10 to 14 point game.
Yeah.
Like the Lions defense is not going to slow them down.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Nope. So I'm with you on this. I'm taking the Packers at -6. And worst comes to worst, it's a 1-score game. So I feel fine with this. Next up, Jacksonville against the Titans. This is Tennessee -9. Eesh. The problem I have with this, and look, that was our other loss last week.
I'm not giving
Colts.
somebody fucking almost 10 points who primarily runs the ball.
Me neither.
Ever.
Me neither.
It's just not. Not that they won't do it. They probably will win by 9 points. But you can't take that chance on a team whose 60 to 65% of their fucking offensive plays are running plays.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. Like, they're trying to control the game.
And
that's what they're doing.
That Titans game to watch the other night was brutal.
Oh, man.
Look, Jacksonville just chucks, man. They're going to do that all season long. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the 9 points and take Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's 8.5 now, by the way. So
everybody's betting Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean, I really think that I'll
probably buy half a point, to be honest with you, on that, and get it at 9. That's just me
The
personally.
over
As
under
a safety
the
thing.
over under is 42.5.
The over under should probably be fucking
Like
20.
12,
Yeah, it's going to be a 14
I could
to 10 game.
This is going to be like a fucking 19-17 game or something.
Probably.
Like that.
Probably.
These teams are both fucking just not exciting.
No, not at all. But I'll take Jacksonville plus those points. Next up, we've got the Vikings against the Colts.
That's an interesting game because it's two teams that
that underperformed
really
last week. Yeah.
week one, and they're also known for underperforming. Both of them are, right? Mm-hmm. Particularly the quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers underperforms in pressure situations all the time.
Yeah.
That's nothing new for him. And obviously, you know my feelings about Minnesota. I think they're a fake team. I don't think Cousins is ever going to win a Super Bowl in his life. I don't think he's just not that guy.
Right.
Honestly, he's like Matt Ryan. He's very talented.
I agree.
Does a lot of cool shit, but he's not the guy to fucking lead that team.
I agree. Therefore, with this game, to be honest with you, I'm not touching it. I didn't like either of these teams last week.
It's at -3 Colts right now.
Because it has to be. It's a home game for the Colts, and that's what happens when you don't really know. You put it at -3, but both of these teams, I don't fucking know. Therefore, I'm not going to tell you to bet on this game because it's a toss-up in my opinion, and both of them look like shit. Let's give them another couple weeks to see who these teams really are, and then figure it out.
Well, they've got the Vikings especially because they've got I guess the Colts with Rivers. There's a lot of new personnel between the quarterback and the wide receivers on both teams. For the Colts, it's everybody because Phillip Rivers just got there. For Cousins, what's his nuts went to. Stephon Diggs went to New York, right?
Yeah, he went to the Buffalo Bills.
To the state of New York, yeah. And they've got Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson is their wide receiver out of LSU.
Who's the other guy?
Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen torched it in fantasy football this week.
He does great all the time, but
if he's healthy,
he's going to get hurt somewhere between week 6 and 8. He does every year. Somewhere between week 6 and 8. Every single year he gets hurt.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But
usually a hamstring with that guy.
This early in the season, if you're playing a good – and look, the Colts have a pretty decent defense. If you're playing against a team like that and you haven't figured it out offensively, you're not in rhythm, and you only have one guy that you are in rhythm with to throw to, then they're just going to double team him.
Right. Marlon Mack is also out for the season, so
that was a big loss for them.
I watched that game. Jonathan Taylor should be the starter anyways. That guy's fucking incredible.
I mean, they should use Mack for a third down back.
Yeah, he's out for the year, so it doesn't matter anyways.
I'm saying, even if he was there, Taylor should have been starting.
They got Hines now, so start Jonathan Taylor. Figure it the fuck out, and look, Phillip Rivers had 350 yards passing, so it wasn't like he was terrible. Next up, we got the
points on the board.
The Bills at the Dolphins. I don't understand this spread
it's
at all.
-6. This should be like -30.
I don't understand this at all.
I'm taking this all day.
I'm all in on the Bills. I am all in on the fucking Bills. Same as it was last week. Look, if you subscribe to fucking Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook, it's a private group, but you can see all of our bets, and it's free. We post our actual bets in there. I put $500 on the Bills last week at -6.5. They covered easily in that game. I don't understand at -5.5 against the Dolphins. The Dolphins fucking suck.
The Dolphins are one of the worst football teams, like this year's Dolphins, one of the worst of all time.
Yeah.
Like even back in the day when Cleveland went defeated that year, they didn't have a terrible roster necessarily. They just fucking sucked as a team.
Sucked.
But Miami has both.
Yeah.
They have a terrible roster and they suck. So this might be like historic. How bad they do this year.
Yeah, man. So I'm all in on this Bills, and it'll probably be another 500 on this, to be honest with you. Same with this next game, man. 49ers against the Jets. It was 6.5. What do you have it at now?
Let's see.
On my bookie, I would have to imagine everybody's betting the 49ers.
Yeah, it's 7.5 now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So I jumped to a full point.
Everybody's betting the Niners because the Jets also suck.
Jets, look, the two worst teams in the league are the Jets and the Dolphins.
It's so funny. The Jets are like the Browns were that year. They've got on paper they should probably win some games.
Yeah,
they're gonna lose probably 10 or 12 games this year. Honestly,
easily. Look, Le'Veon Bell, by the way, is out. He is on injured reserves. He's not going to play for a very long time.
He's OBJing it right now, I think.
If not the rest of the year. He's
trying to get the fuck out.
Taking that contract and doing whatever he wants. Yeah. But I am all in on the 49ers, and I think they turn it around this week, and I think they blow out the Jets. This is my favorite game of the week, to be honest with you. I like it a lot. Next up, we got the Rams against the Eagles. This is Philly -1. And this is in Philly. LA's got to travel cross country. Look, we watched that Rams Cowboys game.
They looked pretty good.
Their defense looked good.
Yeah, their defense is always good with Aaron Donald and those guys, but their offense. Again, Goff is another one of those dudes. I don't think he'll ever win a Super Bowl.
I don't either. Look, he's like Matt Ryan. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's going to be fine for the NFL. And it's like, it's going to be hard to get rid of him. He just signed a massive deal. But the Eagles, man, looks like the disappointment I said they would be. The Washington football team beat them. I called that game. Everybody laughed in my face. Put a lot of money on it, and they came through. This week, to me, this is a pick'em game, and I'm not touching it. No. -1. Rams traveling from LA to Philly.
And it's too because both of these teams should be playoff teams, frankly, based on their rosters. But they didn't. While the Rams won against the Cowboys, it was, in my opinion, clearly because the Cowboys underperformed.
Right.
I don't think the Rams dominated that game or anything like that. I thought the Cowboys had plenty of opportunities to win that fucking game, including kicking a goddamn field goal. Dude, put points on the fucking board. What are you doing? You're down 3. You can kick a field goal and tie the game. Instead, you go for it and don't. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense.
I didn't expect that out of Mike McCarthy.
No,
frankly,
not your first fucking game. That's crazy.
And on the road too. I mean, granted, being on the road right now is not as big a thing, especially not in LA because there were no fans there.
No,
but that's just a really dull. You play for a fucking win at home and a tie on the road.
Right.
Right? That's how it's always been like that in sports. What the fuck was he thinking? But
Don't know.
Anyways, the Rams and the Eagles should be great too, as long as fucking Dum can stay healthy. If his
but
fucking
Miles
head
Sanders
doesn't
is
fall
hurt.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is got a soft tissue, shoulder issue. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's at -1, which is a pick 'em basically.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not
way.
going to tell you to bet on that game because I'm not betting on that game at all.
I know we have a lot of Eagles fans.
Tons.
It's actually not even -1 now. It's straight up pick 'em on my bookie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It should be.
Yeah.
It should be.
I'm sure they just removed the spread.
Yeah.
Because they're like, fuck this.
Next up, we got the Broncos against the Steelers. Pittsburgh -7.5. They looked great last week, but they were playing the Giants. So, look, let's face it. Everyone looks great playing the Giants.
Yep.
I said this would be a comeback year for Ben Roethlisberger. He looked good.
Did you see that fucking
but the Broncos
sleeve
also
he was wearing
looked
on the
good,
sideline
man.
after he was done playing?
Yeah.
Like it's, I saw it. I flipped, or saw it on SportsCenter, I think, because I didn't watch the game, but I saw it on SportsCenter. I'm like, oh shit, did Roethlisberger get hurt? So I'm looking through like fantasy stuff. Like, no, that's just he's icing his arm apparently.
Yeah.
But it's like it looked like he was half cyborg or some shit.
Yeah, look, Kobe was doing that towards the end of his career. Roethlisberger's 38. It makes sense. This is at Pittsburgh. It's 7.5. I'm going to take this, but I'm going to buy a point and take it at 6.5.
I'm taking the.
Philip Lindsay got hurt last week for the Broncos too.
Is he out this week?
I believe so. And I think it's just going to be Melvin Gordon in the backfield, which isn't. Look, it's not terrible.
I'm probably going to take the over in this. It's 41.5 right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's a 22-20 game, basically. I'll take that.
Look, Steelers have a good offense, man. So
yeah,
we'll see.
So the fucking Broncos, man. I mean, they're still figuring it out, but they've got Cortland Sutton over there. They've
still
got,
young, but they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think they're going to score
Steelers
some
have
points.
a good defense. So I'm gonna buy a point and take Pittsburgh at -6.5.
They do have a good defense, but I think Denver probably scores 24 points. Right? I
Maybe.
think it's like a 30-24 game, something like that. So it's definitely not going to be 41.5 points scored in that game.
Maybe. Me personally, I'm just going to take the Steelers at 6.5. Are you taking the Steelers or the Birancos?
No, I'm just taking the over.
Okay.
I honestly think that the Broncos might win this game.
Whew,
I really do, yeah.
All right. Next up, we got the Panthers against the Buccaneers. Look, this is Tampa Bay -9.
I'm not betting on Brady right now.
I'm not either, man. I want to see 2 more weeks. He looked like shit last week.
Yeah.
He looked like a 43-year-old man.
It's funny. Somebody posted in Drinkin Bros Sports private Facebook group, Drinkin Bros Sports. Come in there, you can see all of our bets and all that shit. Somebody posted something about that, and I was like, yeah, he looked very much like Jameis Winston. And I was like, well, not really. Some guy replied to me. I'm like, well, he had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like Jameis. He had 34 touchdowns or 33 touchdowns and 30 interceptions last year. Like, that looked very pedestrian.
It did not
frankly.
look like an upgrade for the
No,
Tampa
not
Bay
at all.
Buccaneers. And I'd like to see Gronkowski get more involved in this offense, but 9 points is too much against McCaffrey and Teddy Bridgewater.
Because they're going to put points on the board.
Yes.
For sure.
And so I want to see one more week of him. Brady. that is, to figure this out. And, also it might not be a bad idea to start playing Leonard Fournette more. In my opinion, we'll see what happens.
Well, he kind of just got there, so I'm sure he's learning the offense and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, they need to integrate him more for sure.
Correct.
Because he the only downside about him is the fact that he played where he played before, right?
Right.
Like everyone's like, yeah, we love Leonard Fournette, but he fucking plays in Jacksonville.
Plays in Jacksonville.
Sucks, man.
Yeah.
He's a very talented runner, so I think he should probably get 40, 50% of the snaps there, you would think, right? We'll see.
I think so.
We'll see. I mean, look, it's interesting seeing how they've developed that offense. I mean, look, we've only seen it once now, but the confluence of Bruce Arians, who is an air-it-out fucking score guy, and Tom Brady, who has played like that in the past, but typically speaking, his style is to manage the game, lull you to sleep, and then make the big play, like he did against fucking the Chiefs two AFC championships ago.
I was surprised to hear Bruce Arians after that game said that Brady looked like shit.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
No,
obviously.
He just said, "Look, man, I was disappointed and I couldn't believe it."
Yeah, Brady kind of said the same thing though. Brady, I mean, I don't think I don't think Tom Brady is the kind of guy that would get mad about that because he holds himself and everybody else accountable.
Yeah,
like, you can hear him with no fans, especially. You could hear him on the field like he was fucking mad at himself.
Yeah,
he was making plays that I've never seen Tom Brady make. Like he's a wide open receiver on a left out, right, or on a curl.
It's almost if he was nervous. Like
I don't know what
I'm
it was.
Not sure,
or just rusty. Probably just rust, right? I mean, he's a guy runs an out or a crowd. I don't remember if it was an out or a curl, but he's on the sideline on the left side, and he overthrew him, but like fucking 10 feet over his head. I'm like, no, there was no pressure. He was in the pocket, threw the pass, and it's like sailed. To me, that's not nerves. There's just rust or something, right? I mean, there's got to be something going on there.
We'll find out this
we'll see
week.
In the next couple weeks,
this week will be the telltale sign, if you will. Next up, this is my favorite game of the week to watch as a fan, actually.
The Redskins and Cardinals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, the Cardinals look great
Both
against
of
the
these teams
49ers.
looked great last week.
And, dude, the defensive line, including Chase Young.
Haskins is still figuring it out, frankly. They're still getting tuned up. But
they were down 17-0 against the Eagles.
Yeah.
And they came back and won by fucking 10 points, man. Chase Young was absolutely terrorizing
people. He's
a
fucking animal.
God damn it,
Did you see that?
What a great defense.
I think I sent it to you. Somebody made a meme where it was like all the edge rushers and linebackers, inside linebackers for fucking for Washington, and then just Carson Wentz in the middle, like that meme of the fucking 5 black dudes and the little white girl on the couch.
Yeah.
It was good.
Look, Chase Young tearing people's heads off.
This
is Arizona -6.5.
He's even better.
It's a really
by the way.
tough game to bet.
He's even better. Seeing him now against NFL competition, he's even better than I thought he was.
Because he's not double teamed like he was in college anymore.
You can't do that in the NFL. Even when they did double team, everybody's seen the video now. It's turned into a GIF at this point.
Yeah,
everybody's seen it where they double team him. He fucking spin moves and then swipes with his right arm 2 guys out of the way. These are 2 300-pound men.
Yeah.
And he flicked them away like it was nothing. I'm like, holy shit. He's better than any of the other edge rushers that have come out of the Big Ten, and that's saying something.
Well, look at the last
even just Ohio
years,
State.
Just
the Bosa brothers.
Nick Bosa.
He's better.
Joey Bosa. Chase Young. I mean, god damn, dude.
He's better than the Bosas, I think.
We'll find out.
I don't think it's.
He's got to stay healthy. One game in, we'll see.
Yeah, the only reason I was hesitant about it before is because I had seen him play against men before.
Right.
But man, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Watching him play on every single play, he's making progress and he's penetrating the fucking offense every single fucking play. Like, holy shit.
It's crazy.
You can never stop that guy. Like, what do you do? There's certain offenses you can't run like a split back formation against him because if you don't have that tight end there, he's gonna fucking blast your ass. I mean, there's nothing to do.
I'm not gonna bet this game because that's a tough spread here. It's 6.5. Man,
I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in this game, but I will be watching it.
He could tear Kyler Murray's head clean off his body. We'll see.
Yeah, if he can find him.
Yeah. Apologize. I'm coming down with a little bit of COVID here.
Yeah, we got AIDS
again.
This is the game of the week.
It is, and I'm staying away from it.
Not to bet, but to watch.
But to watch as a fan, this will be a blonde. And the Washington football team, the name is actually growing on me. And
I like the fact that they're the Washington football team now.
So do I.
Like I don't care. Look, people were all in a fucking tizzy about
the Redskins.
Whatever. First of all, the word Redskins definitely a racial slur, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
this
yeah.
Skins. Like if there was like it's like a Chinese dude with glasses, like a stereotypical fucking Chinese face. And
Yeah.
it was this yellow skins. Like you think that'd be okay to say that?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
get the fuck
exactly.
out of here, man. Obviously it's not. But I do like and the new branding and stuff looks super. It's almost like Notre Dame and the Yankees without the team names on the jersey. It's
Yeah.
really it's like classic looking. You know what I mean?
I
It
don't
looks-
mind it at all,
looks
dude.
I think it looks really good.
I don't mind it at all. So
I don't think they're
fun
gonna,
game to watch.
I don't
not
think
a fun
they're
game
gonna.
to
I don't
bet.
think they're gonna have a mascot. I don't think they're gonna come up with a new team name. I think they're just gonna roll with this.
I don't think they need it, but
No.
we'll see. We'll see here.
This is another great game. though.
Next up, yes.
Ravens and Texans.
Hang on. We got the Chiefs Chargers first.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Chiefs Chargers. Look, this is KC -9. I'm all in on KC this entire
I'm taking
year.
the -9, and I'm taking the over, which is 47.5.
Don't understand
That's
it.
a 24-25 game, dude.
They
what the
can.
fuck?
The Chiefs might beat the over on their own. That's serious.
Oh, yeah, they're probably going to
Dead
score
serious.
in the high 30s.
Yep.
'Cause they usually do.
I'm all in on KC. I'm all in on this over, and I will bet because that is less than 7 touchdowns right now. By the way, speaking of the Chiefs over, last week when we did the show, I went all in on the Chiefs over, and it was 54.5. The beauty of it is,
I took them and the over.
well, so
obviously.
here's what happened.
Then I parlayed it. That's one of the other bets I won.
Here's what happened. I bet the game right after the show, which was on a Tuesday, right? All of the Drinkin Bros audience, because it dropped to 53.5. They got it at 53.5, and betting it on game day itself. And when they did, they won the over by a half a point.
Yeah.
I lost.
I got it at 53.5.
The over. I didn't because I bet it when we were on the show.
Yeah.
I got it 54.5, but every single Drinkin Bro hit me up and they were like, "Yo, your lock of the week was awesome."
That's why anytime
It was for you guys. It was not for me, but
yeah, if you've got an inside lead on something, you feel like you've got a good feeling about it. If you're not worried about it going up, you can wait until Friday, Saturday to make your bet just to see
Right.
if it changes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that half a point can. Well, first of all, buying that half a point is going to cost you.
yeah.
Like you're only going to get about 80% of what you would have won
Correct.
otherwise. And waiting a couple of days, maybe it goes up, and then you can buy a point. I mean, it's gambling. It's a risk.
Yeah.
Right? But I like to wait on anything that's super close like that
Yep.
until I've got more information.
I got
We'll
too
see.
zealous, man. It was
No, well, this one-
opening week, and
This
went all
one-
in. But
this one's ridiculous.
yeah,
though.
I'm taking KC,
Like,
and
the
I'm
Chargers
taking the
suck.
over. Yeah.
The Chargers are not great.
No.
And
no.
40. You really think that? Let's say they score 10 points. That means.